Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Daily Destiny with Jessie B. I am Jessie Christensen. Happy Monday. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Today, I'm going to continue on the Promise of Christmas series today. And I was thinking about this yesterday. Did you know that there are less than 2 weeks till Christmas? And I don't know about you, but this past weekend, I finally started feeling the holiday rush of the season, meaning that parties began, Christmas events and pageants, family gatherings, and of course, the Christmas shopping. It is in full force. So I was thinking about this as this weekend is over. As we get closer to Christmas, my hope is that in the midst of the hectic Christmas season, that we can continue to lay down our to-do list and reawaken that connection with the Christ of Christmas, so that when Christmas Day arrives, instead of feeling that sense of relief or exhaustion from the season, that we will experience the excitement of the promises of Christmas. And that is hope and joy, love for a lifetime, and peace for a lifetime. So good morning, Chris. Good morning, Pamela. Thanks for joining me this morning. So yesterday was the start of week 3 of the Advent season. And so week 1, we talked about the promise of hope. And week 2, we talked about the promise of peace. So this week, we are going to talk about the promise of joy. And so I want to start this morning by this morning I'm going to share a little bit about discovering the joy in God's perfect timing. And as much as the holidays are filled with excitement and anticipation and family and friends gathering around with our family and friends, if we are not careful about what we fill our hearts with, it can also be easy to experience doubt and loneliness and wondering why some of the promises are not fulfilled yet in our lives, or maybe some of the prayers that we have for others have not been fulfilled. So here is some encouragement from the Christmas story for you about God's perfect timing. And so God, He promised that His son would be born out of Bethlehem. But the problem was Mary and Joseph were in Nazareth. So look what happened. In Caesar, the first Roman emperor of that time, he issued the first ever census in the land where everyone in the Roman world had returned back to his or her place of origin. So Mary and Joseph headed back to Bethlehem. And I was thinking about this. Was it a coincidence that it was the first census, or was it God moving to fulfill His promise that His son would be born in Bethlehem? And so whether or not Joseph planned Christ's birth this way, God had planned it. And then it says in Luke 2:6 that while they were there, the time came for the baby to be born, and she gave birth to the firstborn, a son. In Galatians 4:4 it says, "But when the time had fully come, God sent His son, born of a woman, under the law, to redeem those from the law, that we may receive both the full rights of the son." So in both these verses, it mentions the time had come. And so I want to read a little bit what Beth Moore said about these verses and about God's timing with His son. And she said this: "These words refer to the most important segment of time. Since the first tick of the clock, the second hand circled tens of thousands of times for thousands of years. And then finally, miraculously, majestically, the time came. God's voice broke through the barrier of the natural realm through the cries of an infant. Startled by the life of the outside, the Son of God had come to earth wrapped in a tiny cloak of human flesh." So the birth of Christ was promised to come to Bethlehem thousands of years before His birth. And God used a humble virgin from Nazareth to fulfill His promise. So on the outside, it looked impossible. But what God has promised, He is always faithful to fulfill in His perfect timing. And so through the Christmas story, we can see just how faithful the Lord is to fulfill his promise in his timing. So no matter where you are or where you've been or what you're going through, God will find a way to fulfill his promise in your life. Now that is something, I don't know about you, but that is something that we can find joy in this holiday season and always. So thank you guys for joining me this morning. Good morning, Lori. Happy Monday to you as well. Good morning, Cammie. So something practical that we can think about is this. Reflect on this question. What has God shown you in your life about his perfect timing? What are some ways that God has already proved that his timing is perfect in your life? You can just think about it. Maybe on your drive to work, you can write it here. Where has God already shown you in your own life about his perfect timing? I would love to know that. So thanks to you guys for joining me. Good, Jessie. Thanks, Kayla. Good morning. I will continue on the theme of joy on Wednesday. Hope you guys have a great Monday. And remember that you are worthy, you're beautiful, and you are strong. And I will see you guys on Wednesday. All right, bye-bye.